And on this episode of Just Wasting More Money, we got this from Cosmic Book News. Marvel teases Young Avengers in Disney Cruise promo. Man, I'd love to be a fly on the wall at Marvel Studios when they talk about the Young Avengers. Actually, I read that it's going to be called Champions now, and it's not going to be a movie. It's going to be a TV show on Disney Plus because the Marvels underperformed. It just makes me wonder, is this supposed to help you save money by doing this? So you're not making it as a big budget movie, you're going to make it as a big budget show and guarantee to make $0 back on it. With Disney Plus, you ain't making that much money. Like, how much are they possibly making on ads these days? It can't be that much. But again, it's called Champions because Young Avengers, they're all too old now that they can't call it Young Avengers. It was a terrible idea from the start. I mean, the movie was great. If you ever get a chance to watch the animated movie of Young Avengers, awesome movie. Fantastic movie. This one, who cares? None of the characters that are in this, no one cares about them whatsoever. You got Riri Williams, man. You got Riri Williams from Ironheart. Yeah, that's gonna be a flop of a show. Right now, it's funny though with the bar for Marvel TV shows. I think it's like Miss Marvel is the bar if something could beat that or not. And the same thing with the Acolyte. It's like, okay, is it gonna be worse than the Acolyte? That's gonna be the forever bar to show how bad something is. Because I think Agatha had worse numbers than the Acolyte. And those numbers were so bad that they killed it going forward. So Agatha, we're not going to get a season 2 out of that. And you know what? We shouldn't. We really shouldn't. Here is the biggest problem with the Disney Plus shows. They're not making them for the right format. Here's what you're supposed to do. You have the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show. Okay, cool. Show comes out. We get a little bit more of the universe. It ends up with Sam being Captain America. What do you do afterwards? You pop out Captain America 4. There is no reason why, COVID or not, this movie shouldn't have came out, I would say, 6 months to a year after the TV show came out. There is no reason whatsoever that it took this long to get the trailer for this movie out, and now we have reshoots. There are I didn't know that was possible. I was questioning that online because so many people were sending me stuff like, oh yeah, they're reshooting poor test audience. Like, but the trailer came out. But the release date, we know when it's coming out. You're telling me after the final trailer came out, they're shooting this thing again? That they're testing more? Shouldn't this be the ending of it? The cherry on top, we're done, wrap a bow on it, we're ready to go to the theaters? But no. They are reshooting this thing because the test audiences still hate it. So, but back to my point. That movie should have came out years ago. You had WandaVision. And then what did it do? It led into Multiverse of Madness. Wasn't a big fan of Multiverse of Madness, but you still had the show before it. The show brought more about Wanda. We learned more things. We got to see her with the book. And then it led us to Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. You have Moon Knight. DOA. Where has he been? Where has he been? Then you got the Loki show. Season 1 and 2. Where's that going? Secret Wars in, 2026? Are you out of your mind? Are you crazy? I mean, look, you had Miss Marvel. Where'd that go? Went to the Marvels. That's what you're supposed to do with all these products. The shows are supposed to come out, and they're supposed to lead us into the movies. You ain't doing that now, Disney. Now you're doing it the opposite way. Now you're having movies that are terrible, that everyone hated these characters, and now you're making shows about them. You got it's so weird. It's so weird. A multi-billion-dollar company. When Marvel was at its height, it was crushing the box office. It was breaking all these records. It was a money printing machine. Now look at it. They have to fight and claw and gaslight and shame you They have to shame you into watching their products. More importantly, they need you to say something positive about it. Champions. What are you doing with that? This is going to be the future? Dare I make a comparison? I think it was like Mortal Kombat X or something like that, Mortal Kombat 10, where it had Cassie Cage, Jacqueline Briggs, Kung Lao, and I forgot the other guy with the whips. But you had that game, and you were ushering, here are the new characters. Granted, were they as good as the old ones? I didn't hate them. I actually did not hate Cassie Cage that much. I thought she was a pretty good character. I think it was a very good start to her storyline and the other ones. So, that was the goal of it. You make a game with these new characters, you bring back Johnny Cage, you see that he's clearly getting old, and you're just bringing in the new group and going on to the future. That's what you should be doing. And is that what's going to happen with Champions? No. No. That's not going to happen. No one is ever going to be Riri Williams for Halloween. Costume companies were going to lose money if they start making Champions costumes for kids. No one cares. No one cares at all. You have successfully, Marvel as a company, you have successfully turned away your audience. And the new modern audience, quote unquote, they're non-existent. They're not buying your stuff. They're not watching your shows, your movies. If they're watching your shows and you get 20 million viewers and everything that you compare it to is numbers from The Acolyte, a hysterical flop of a show, that ain't the audience you should be catering to. Plain and simple. This is not the audience that you should be catering to. So, Young Avengers Champions, TV show, where is that going? Nowhere. Because they're nowhere near as good as the originals. They're nowhere near as good as the first 6 Avengers. They're nowhere near as good as the whole groups combined for Infinity War and Endgame. We're not going to get America Chavez saving the universe. Right? No one cares. No, you know how bad it is in Marvel right now? You had to bring back Robert Downey Jr. That's how bad things are, that you had to bring him back as Doctor Doom to have a spark, to light a spark in the Marvel fans that might remotely talk about this, and dare I say, I'm a little bit curious of it. How far this company has fallen. But in the end, what do you guys think about that?
A man can change his star.